In our last Tag Talks, I, your host, Lisa Lupo, discussed the steps in preparing for a food safety audit in your restaurant or retail food establishment with Tag Food Safety Manager Karla Acosta. In today's talk, Karla moves to the next step, discussing just what to do to activate the plan and conduct a self-audit. Welcome back, Karla.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
So now that you've helped our viewers prepare and create a self-audit, what are the next steps in conducting the plan?
Absolutely. Yes. So now that you have your handy self-audit checklist, you will want to just get straight to it. You'll want to assess your food storage and handling practices. So start with evaluating from the very beginning. So evaluate how the ingredients and food items are being received in your operation, how they're being stored, labeled, and rotated to ensure that there's proper stock management and that you're reducing that risk of cross-contamination. You'll want to look, so kind of like the flow of food, right? So from the beginning, when it arrives into your operation, what goes next, storage. So verify that the storage areas are clean, that they're organized and maintained at appropriate temperatures. You'll want to evaluate your hygiene practices. So again, making sure that your employees are properly washing their hands correctly when they need to and in the correct places. So you'll be shocked. Sometimes you'll find employees washing their hands in the prep sink. Make sure you let them know hand washing sinks are for hand washing, prep sinks are for prep sinks for prepping, and then, dish sinks are for dish sinks. Kind of self-explanatory, but you'll be shocked how many times you'll see that in an operation. You'll also want to look at the use of gloves and your employees' overall personal hygiene. So are they wearing clean work clothes? Are they wearing jewelry? Are they wearing hairnets, beard guards? And are they presenting any symptoms of illnesses that may need to be reported? If that's the case, that's a conversation that needs to be had with that employee. And we'll talk about that in a bit. But in addition to that, you'll want to ensure that employees are trained on food safety protocols and have access to necessary amenities such as your hand sinks, any soap, paper towels, single-use paper towels. Then you'll proceed to reviewing, again, keeping a close look at your cleaning and sanitation procedures. So check the effectiveness and the consistency of your cleaning and sanitation protocols. Make sure that the frequency of cleaning is enough at an appropriate cadence for your establishment. And the use of sanitizers or approved sanitizers, are they being used correctly? Are they being changed often enough? When employees use the testing strips, are they doing so correctly? You'll also want to pay attention to high-risk areas like cutting boards, utensils, and food contact surfaces. Once you've done that, you'll want to take a step back and I would say for at least 15 minutes, just kind of be a fly on the wall and look at what your employees are doing on a regular operation. Try to do it when it's busiest. It may be hard, but that's usually when inspections happen anyway. Make sure you see what their food safety practices are like and their behaviors, just because when you're busiest, that's when those food safety practices should still be applicable. And from there, you'll also want to assess staff training and knowledge. So review the training programs that are provided to your staff and assess their knowledge of the food safety principles. Make sure that all employees have received the appropriate training that they need, again, on personal hygiene, allergen management, cross-contamination, temperature control. And again, back to what I mentioned on in part one of this tag talk is documentation. You'll want to analyze record keeping practices. So examine your record keeping process to ensure that all critical data, such as your temperature logs, your cleaning schedules, and staff training records, are consistently documented, easily accessible, and maintained for the required time periods. And if you just stick with the checklist that you've created, go through it, really take the time. This self-audit, depending on the size of your operation, which is key here, depending on the size. But on average, it should take you about an hour, maybe two, depending on the size of your establishment.
Okay. So if I'm doing all this and I find deficiencies or areas needing improvements, what do I do now?
Absolutely. So if you found deficiencies during your self-audit, that is completely okay and actually a great opportunity for you to turn things around and fix things on the spot. So you'll want to analyze the findings from your self-audit and identify any gaps or areas for improvement. So prioritize corrective actions based on the severity of the risks that were identified. And you'll want to develop an action plan with specific steps, timelines, and the responsible parties to address the identified issues. So if you notice that a lot of employees are deficient in personal hygiene or hand washing practices, then you should have a pre-shift meeting with everyone and retrain on those practices. If it's just one individual, then you can pull them to the side and kindly let them know that they're not following the correct food safety practices. Oftentimes, you'll find that employees think that they're doing the right thing. So unless you correct them, they'll continue doing what they think is right, which may put your operation at risk. And then you'll want to execute the action plan and ensure that all necessary changes are implemented effectively, and continuously monitor and document that progress to ensure that there's sustained compliance with food safety standards. So once the employees have been trained in hand washing practices, right, you'll want to monitor and see if they're still engaging in those good food safety practices and behaviors and washing their hands correctly and during the right times. But it's important to remember that conducting regular self-audits is just one aspect of maintaining food safety. And it's crucial to develop a culture of food safety within your establishment, a good food safety culture within your establishment. So encouraging continuous training, open communication, and a commitment to upholding the highest standards of food safety practices. But once again, that behavior starts from you. So you as the manager or person in charge need to model these good food safety behaviors before you expect them out of your employees.
That's all great information. Do you have other recommendations for conducting the self-audit and for training my team on that?
Absolutely. So remember that food safety culture is a journey. And even if you feel that your operation has a poor food safety culture, you can turn it around, and there's plenty of resources out there to help you. If you still feel lost, myself or anyone else here at TAG would be more than happy to get in touch with you and help you to keep your food safe. So you can take a look at our website and see the services that we offer and can provide you with. So we can do a mock inspection for you with the eyes of a health inspector, but the heart of a friend. So not just tell you what you're deficient at, but also let you know what your strengths are and how to fix any of the issues that come up. And if you need help with training, we also can create customized food safety training for your operation here at TAG. But all you need to do is reach out for help.
Great. Thank you so much, Karla, for your recommendations, both on preparing for a self-audit in our previous TAG talks, and now for actually conducting that audit and, correcting any deficiencies and moving forward to make things better. So we really appreciate all your knowledge and insights on this topic.
Thank you. And thank you for having me.
Yes. And we'd like to once again thank our viewers for joining TAG Talks on current and impactful industry trends and events. Be sure to watch part 1 if you haven't already seen that one. And then stay tuned for all things food safety and public health by clicking subscribe, hitting the bell to be notified of new videos, and then clicking Insights to subscribe to our weekly articles. Thank you.